10 seconds
That
remaining.
feel when you can't finish the music because the game starts.
5
Oh,
seconds
that
remaining.
music is so good, guys. It's so good. That's like my favorite one. But guys, welcome back. We got GESC Thailand
Radiant
NA
team
qualifiers upon us. We have OpTic taking on VGJ.Storm. And Storm, last game,
Dire
wasn't
team
really
back.
clean. They had a couple of issues with Yawar's farm on the Drow Ranger. The mid lane was going really smooth, and as well, Zai's Bounty Hunter was seemingly everywhere, but it seemed like OpTic just couldn't compete with the team fight of Storm. A couple of times they tried, and they did reasonably well, but
10
at a
seconds
certain point,
remaining.
you have to just get to that critical mass where the team fight of Storm just doesn't
5
matter, and they
seconds
never
remaining.
quite hit that stride. They weren't able to keep disrupting the team fight in order to get to that
Radiant
critical mass.
team ban.
So Storm, off of that Drow and mass team fight build, are going to take game 1. And this game is really important. Like, it's not an elimination game or anything like that. Loser drops down to face Complexity in the lower bracket. But the way this works is that tomorrow, the NA qualifiers is going to end for this tournament. So Complexity will face up against the loser of this. And then the winner of this is going to face up against the winner of that. So if you lose this game, you have to play
10
Complexity in a
seconds
best of
remaining.
3. And then you have to play whoever you just lost to here
5 seconds
in a best of
remaining.
5 right after. That is so hard to do. Like, I don't care who you are. Winning a best of 3 and then winning a best of 5 right after, that is
Radiant
so
team
hard. So
Dire
winning
team
this match means that the winners can just sit back and chill and just wait and watch as their opposition tires themselves out. It's really great, man. It's really great to win this game, so I'd recommend winning this match. We have ourselves the making of a lot of push. 2 profits on the
10
VGJ.Storm
seconds
side, and we got a Holy Knight, the Chen, from the OpTic Gaming end of
5
things.
seconds
Was available in
remaining.
the first phase if they really wanted to go for that. We'll decide against, maybe because that Sand King is currently banned out, so 33 definitely showing up on that Sand King is going to warrant that respect ban. And honestly, for VGJ.Storm, that may have been something that they could have figured out for game 1. If they just, went straight away for that first ban Sand King, I think everyone would have been understanding of that situation. But they were able to beat him through that game, so it's all good in the end. But this is going to be a OpTic Gaming Chen, so definitely looking for these early game tempo plays. Although, as far as getting those big pushing plays are concerned, as far as ending the game early, that's going to be really difficult. As Chen, you really want to play in that fashion if you can. You want to get the early game lead. You want to take down those early game towers and just keep steamrolling forward with that snowball. Usually, you use a Death Prophet in that, or you use a DK,
Radiant
or use a
team
Terrorblade. Those type of heroes. And those type of heroes are very direct. They will push the wave
Dire team
straight.
ban.
They won't do anything tricky. They will just go and hit the towers. Death Prophet and Nature's Prophet, they can push really well for Storm. So should OpTic
Radiant team ban.
want to go for this direct push off of the Chen, then they will be racing up against Storm. And it's really hard to race up against these 2 Prophets. They put out a lot of push. And the same is kind of similar for Storm. The thing is, though, Chen is so much more immobile than the Nature's Prophet that, Chen has to move himself
10
and all his
seconds
creeps into
remaining.
position to go for that push. Slowly push it out. Whereas Death
5
Prophet can kill
seconds
off creeps a
remaining.
lot faster, so she just gets to the tower faster. And Nature's Prophet,
Dire
obviously, is,
team
the
back.
most godly pusher ever. So VGJ.Storm off of these picks will have the pushing advantage. However, they will have probably significantly weaker supports. Tusk, Chen, Witch Doctor, and even the Coddle all taken out already. And you could tell, like, Coddle early on with that Chen first pick, OpTic definitely had some sort of aggressive plan lined up that is going to be, again, possible to make work, but is going to be in the context mostly of just a whole bunch of races. Never really want to be racing these 2 Prophets. We'll see what OpTic want to do as far as the push is
10
concerned. Again,
seconds
DK,
remaining.
Luna, Lone Druid, the pushing pool of heroes is still very
5
deep.
seconds
But
remaining.
Storm, they have now their supports to pick up right now. Dark Willow is going to be banned out. I wonder if there's any consideration for Jakiro. Haven't really seen many teams play that hero as of late. Kind of just completely fallen off. But if you're worried about being pushed, that AoE is really nice. If you want to push, the Liquid Fire is amazing. I don't know, seems like it's a really powerful pick. If they just want to go for these just generically standard supports. Ancient Apparition is still in the pool. That is not an Ancient Apparition. That's a Bounty Hunter. So Storm now, they'll have Bounty Hunter scouting. They'll have Nature's Prophet fanning out those treants. And of course, if you find anyone, you can just teleport on them and just crush them in the blink of an eye. Also, the classic matchup right now. The Bounty Hunter to counter the Chen. Of course, Chen plays a little bit differently nowadays. You can't really just follow him as the Bounty Hunter and expect to win the game off of that. I used to be able to do that. At least not win the game, but used to just make Chen's life very hard just by following him all the time, which is absolutely hilarious to watch. But it is still going to be really powerful with that Nature's Prophet. And Death Prophet with Bounty Hunter is a significant threat, as we saw in the last game, where Zai and CCNC were able to use that combo pretty well up against the Visage of Tomato. Oh, Tiny's still in the pool. Holy crap, I did not realize. Well, Tiny's in the pool. Tiny is, going to be a pretty decent hero pushing down those towers. Tossing the tree and just having absolutely massive base damage. Definitely can get the job done. Death Prophet, Nature's Prophet, these are okay heroes at answering the Tiny. Bounty Hunter really has got to be careful. Usually you want to just jump in and start poking the enemy core, really regardless of who that is. You can kill off some of them sometimes. You can't kill all of them. Heroes like Quap and Puck, there's no real sense in just wasting your time as the Bounty Hunter. They'll just blink away. But trying to go for a Tiny, he won't blink away. He'll just turn around and kill you. So you really have to be careful in playing this Bounty Hunter, because not only is the Tiny going to be threatening you all the time if you want to go for him, but Chen and Tusk, they're always on the move. They're very, very rarely going to be sitting in a lane and babysitting it. So because these heroes are always moving, you have to make sure that you have your eyes out for the dust that they're going to be inevitably carrying. They're going to be hunting that Bounty Hunter all the time. And now for Storm, they go for a Tide Hunter. What is this build for Storm? The Ravage is going to be really good up against OpTic. It's hard to micro creeps when they're all stunned by Ravage. But what are we actually looking at? Is this going to be another Nature's Prophet support? Seen a couple of teams run it. Z-Freak's Nature's Prophet support was absolutely nasty. In a good way. It worked out really well. Is kind of an untraditional support. If you get the proper treant blocks, you can do a lot of damage because your range is very high. Go for a a Blightstone or an Orb of Venom, and yeah, you could actually just put in a lot of chip damage. But is gonna have a very different type of style here because the levels of the Nature's Prophet is gonna be a lot less. So that kind of push race scenario that I was describing before, that's not really applicable when you have a support Nature's Prophet. I guess there's a non-zero chance that a Tide Hunter is going to be support. I don't know. I mean, it used to be a thing. Gush is really good. Gush is an amazing ability. If you look at the numbers, it has a slow, it has minus armor. Mana cost is a little bit expensive, but it does 120 damage, I think, at level 1. It's pretty stupid how great that spell is. How much damage? Yeah, it's 110 damage at level 1. But still, this is going to be a very non-traditional build-up here for Storm. In the lanes, they're going to suffer. They're up against Tiny. They're up against Viper, Chen. These are absolute monsters in the lane from OpTic. And these Storm heroes, Death Prophet's powerful. Tide Hunter's okay. But they're not going to be at a point where they're going to be like, yeah, we got all these lanes won, guys. That's just not going to happen. They're bound to lose. At least, I would say, 2 of these lanes. Chen and Tusk is just so hard to answer with these type of heroes. I mean, Anchor Smash is going to be really, really good. This Tide Hunter is actually in a pretty decent spot, despite going up against that Viper later on, breaking off all those passives. Anchor Smash is absolutely premium here. You're up against a Tiny in lane, potentially, and Tide Hunter still takes a lot of damage there, but he's actually one of the few heroes that's able to return fire to a decent degree because of that Anchor Smash damage reduction. I still would say that's a Tiny favored lane, but Tide Hunter puts up a decent fight. And now OpTic, they are going to ban out the Razor. Just making sure to protect that Viper pick as much as possible. I'm pretty sure OpTic are a little bit confused at this as well. At least confused with the ultimate game plan here at VGJ.Storm. So the Weaver will be taken out. VGJ wouldn't have really had many answers to a super mobile hero.
10 seconds remaining.
33 is definitely the OpTic Tiny. And now Pycat doesn't really seem like he needs to be going all that much into the push. Like a Phantom Lancer, no, that's actually banned out. Go for the Troll Warlord instead. And you know what? I'm okay with this. The Troll Warlord is, yeah, not really going to have to worry too much about being silenced by DP. He'll be more than happy to build up a BKB to answer that Tidehunter. Being able to push down towers with a Chen with that Battle Trance, super valuable. And of course, if you do decide to go for that Battle Fury, you could answer the Nature's Prophet push really, really easily. So Troll Warlord looking like a rock solid pick here. Plus Battle Trance on Viper and Tiny is really, really good. So I'm liking the OpTic draft quite a bit. Still a little bit confused as to the ultimate end game here for the VGJ squad. Like, they have an okay amount of team fight. If you look at like the assets that they have without looking at their lanes, like they have a lot going for them. But these lanes are going to be so miserable for them. Like, how do you compete up against a Chen and Tusk? Viper, Tiny, and Troll Warlord are all very, very self-sufficient laners. So just standing lanes for OpTic should be going pretty well for them. Luna's going to be the pick. Storm will have that as far as push is concerned. And yeah, it will be, it looks like, that support Nature's Prophet. But this is looking like a really awkward draft from Storm. I mean, Luna is really, really susceptible in this game. There's a type of hero that if she gets hit with the shards, if she gets put into a corner, she's just going to crumble. She's super, super soft. Up against Troll Warlord is going to be messing with those whirling axes. If you get blinded by that, you're in a lot of trouble. You can get Avatossed and lose like the vast majority of your health pool. Again, this is going to be a really nice setup for VGJ.Storm's toolbox insofar as they'll have a lot of push power early on. And if they do get into like a lot of fist fights early on, Luna is definitely the hero that you kind of want to have in your corner. But yeah, I'm favoring OpTic's draft quite a bit here. Their lanes are just so much more powerful. It is a very, very likely chance that I am underestimating the power of a support NP. We don't get to see it all that often, but you can see MSS already with that Blightstone, so he's got the armor reduction. And the Treant Micro is going to be really, really important. As Troll Warlord, you're okay getting phased though, so once you get that, yeah, and you're okay, just zip out of there. Tiny and Troll both are going to get Quelling Blades, so Sprout is not really going to be huge. I don't know, man. Relying on body blocks, relying on micro, without micro for a CC instead of like micro for damage as something that like PPD would be doing. Such a delicate way to play the game. SVG will be pushing up the high ground. Does have eyes on. We got Zai with 2 charges of dust. He's looking for that Chen. Really wants to get a read on how much invisibility there is. He is going to put up that obs, but unfortunately will not see Chen yet. But he will see him now. So he has full vision of this area. And for SVG, I said Zai was going to have some difficulty in the last game, and I was wrong. I will say that SVG will have some difficulty in this game. I might be wrong again. But it just seems like these heroes that he's going to try to gank, like a Viper, a Tiny, a Troll, these heroes can all defend themselves so well. This is going to be hard, man. This is going to be real hard. He's trying to go for that Bounty Rune snatch, though. SVG is not quite going to grab it. He tried. Now picking a fight with Pycat. You do get that. I'm pretty sure that's still, I don't know if it's glitched or whatever, but you do get like the additional bonus damage when you're fading. And you don't break your invis. I don't know if that's glitched or intentional. It's been in Dota long enough so that maybe it's intentional. But he's just going to make sure that this Chen is going to be unhappy. Of course, this is a new day and age in Chen when he just does this. Sends back all the creeps, so they filter into this bottom lane really slowly. And Pycat going into a lane versus that Tidehunter, he's going to be able to function pretty well in this lane. Just because he is, you know, usually going to be in melee form, but not in lane. He doesn't have to be melee. SVG, as long as he's just stalking the Chen, keeps eyes on where he's moving, will be just fine. And we got Tomato hunting down a Courier. One more shot. Oh, the shards! Gonna push Tomato into the Courier. No! Oh, Zai with a very, very rare misplay on the Tusk. Let's be honest, Zai very, very rarely misplays, period. But if he just, like, sat there, if everyone just didn't move, that Courier would still be alive. So Tomato is able to snipe that one. Teleports straight back to the tower. Does get banged up quite a bit there, but that's kind of inevitable. Oh, and the sentry is still there for SVG. He was able to kill it off before PPD was able to find the sentry that he placed. Yeah, Pycat, he's going to have to watch his distances. The whirling axes will help quite a bit. Tomato got one siphon on CCNC. Fairly bulky here. Has the fairy fire, but I think the poison damage should just kill him off, and it will. Zai will redeem himself and get back to safety. Easy peasy. CCNC getting some help up against this Death Prophet. Expect to see this Viper still stay relatively even with that DP. This corrosive skin is going to be always very, very nice for the Viper in this particular matchup. And up towards top lane, we got MSS just chipping out that Tiny. And this is where Nature's Prophet might just be at his strongest. He's a very, very high distance support hero in that he really just wants to poke from a range and use these treants to be annoying. With that Blightstone, especially on a hero that has such low armor, you can do a lot of damage from range and be very safe in doing so. Not to mention the fact that that Blightstone is also amped up by having that plus 14 damage from that Lunar Blessing aura. So Nature's Prophet hits like an absolute truck. The problem is that you can never really go for kills necessarily, unless the Tiny makes a huge misplay, but you know, constantly being able to pressure him and take out that early game regen, make him chew down those tangos, it will eventually add up. And SVG is just haunting PPD's play. Wherever you go, man, wherever you move, there will be a bounty hunter following you. And Bounty Hunter is kind of running dry in mana right now, but he's got 2 clarities. The Chen can only afford so many sources of True Sight. This is leaving Tomato on a little bit of an island. We got Zai once again set up to move in. Although Tomato's at perfectly healthy amounts of HP. Does have a Siphon at the ready as well. He's going to push out the wave though, so this is the opportunity that they were looking for, but at the same time, there is a Bounty Hunter right around the corner. Snowball from behind. Tomato's path is going to be walled off by shards if he tries to run. He's got another Siphon, but here comes the support from MSS, trying to go for CCNC instead of Zai. Now they're going to change their mind, go for that Tusk, but Tomato with one more Swarm just short. And with the Snowball in, I'm not really sure about that, Zai. He's just going to die. 2 very rare misplays. Sometimes the stars align. Yeah, the Bounty Hunter is just going to turn around and kill him. That should have been a 0-kill exchange, but Storm kind of get a free one there. And actually over in this bottom lane, Sneaking is kind of destroying Pycat. I assume that this Troll Warlord being able to keep his distance with the range would be mostly safe up against Sneaking's Anchor Smash and able to CS like really cleanly. And he's not like under too much pressure, but man, this Tidehunter is having the time of his life. Gonna go for gonna go for a little bit of the early game regen. Sneaking probably gonna go for the exact same build as last game. You can Dominator, you can Pipe with that. Pipe's not that good. H-Dom Tidehunter? Sure, man. Go for it. And MSS even teleporting in there. That's usually something that is not as frequently seen from a support standpoint, Nature's Prophet. He's going to jump in one more time. They're setting up on the Padge Cat. SVG's already in place. He's going to pick up that point in Janata. A little bit of slow there. Sprout is available, but Pycat's, he's booking it, man. Phase Boots Troll Warlord. No Quelling Blade just yet. Doesn't even need it. They will dust up the Bounty Hunter, but into the Tidehunter, through the Sprout, they'll have to fight, and now Zai, the turnaround is there. He's going to get sent back to the base. It's a very low-level send back, though. Another Anchor Smash is going to come out, but it's not quite going to do enough damage. The dust does fade out onto SVG, though, and ultimately it's going to be a 0-kill exchange as up towards top lane. The Tidehunter is going to... Okay, I thought he was... Okay, never mind. Just going to go up towards top and keep farming. Wants to just get some pressure onto this Tiny now. Minus 47 Anchor Smash damage. Yeah, pretty powerful ability up against a hero with that much base damage. Just a full rotation now. Noir's CS has been pretty solid. He's looking for some safer farm in this bottom lane, but unfortunately for him, the safe farm is non-existent here because here comes the Snowball. Shards will wall him in like that, and he's just going to go down. MSS is here, blocking off Zai a little bit, but way too many enemies to fight up against. And Luna will be taken down. What level is this Tidehunter? Not quite 6 yet. Once he has that, then OpTic will have to second guess whenever they make plays that are that aggressive. Sentry is there. The Shards will keep SVG in sentry range, and they'll get another one. Pycat getting a lot of help on this bottom lane. Overall, CS-wise, game is looking pretty darn even. PPD, though, still with this one Satyr creep, with a lot of damage into this tower along with Pycat. Level 1 Fervor, but still, level 1 Fervor is really all you need. They're going to rotate Yawar out of that lane and make him join up with this Tidehunter. Tosses away, though. And now MSS, the Treants are a little bit in a lagging position. Still in front of 33. I think they have him in a corner. Enough to get this kill. One more right click, they got him. This is a 4-hero rotation up towards top lane. It's going to cost them a tier 1. So, I mean, Yawar's happy that he got that kill, but for the team, that is incredibly expensive unless they also get this tower. They only have 1 point in the Treants. Tidehunter doesn't really push towers well. He kills off creep waves well, but the damage on this tower is going to be fairly slow, even though they have a Luna in the lane. This is costing Yawar quite a bit of experience gain as well. As Luna, you desperately need to get that level 7. It acts as a deterrent, if nothing else. Snaking. Still chilling, man, though. 33 is right around the corners. Level 3 in the Avalanche. Will get the Avalanche and the toss. Quite a bit of damage, but the raindrop is going to protect him a little bit. CCNC, man, is actually just crushing Tomato in this lane. It was, of course, a little bit of help from Zai. Siphon now up as the ghosts are out. MSS from the low ground is going to capture a Viper, letting SVG close in, and they'll take down the Viper. Another big rotation. A lot of heroes involved in this.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower
But with the rest of this exorcism, putting a little bit of damage into this tower, still getting a kill on CCNC, tying up this mid lane just a little bit. And Tomato, who is really banged up here, but he will have probably a full restore off of the Ghost returning. Pycat PPD still in this bottom lane. Still this Fervor. Going to work. And PPD is actually running dry on useful tanking creeps, but it looks like with kind of a lackluster defense here from Storm, they will still maybe not kill off this tower, but put a lot of damage into it. They're sticking around, actually. There is a Bounty Hunter kind of circling for position, but the rest of Storm, they're not really quite ready to go into this yet. Got a Tidehunter and a Luna farming side by side on top lane instead of looking for a crash in onto bottom. SVG, trip a Sentry Ward, and now the Tidehunter's coming in. Send back on a Pycat is going to mean that they're not going to bother with him. Gets a lot of damage to SVG before he gets sent back, though. And PPD, it looks like he has a Sprout. There is going to be a chop through, but the Treants are in the front. And now the Chen, he's in Nature's Prophet's domain, and he's going to get smashed by that anchor. Tower still alive, but actually deniable. Probably worth it for Storm to get that off the map. Since it's so easy for OpTic just to go right back down and tap it a couple times for the kill. Level 3 in the Bounty Hunter. SVG has been very active and very annoying, but always going to get randomly scanned and dusted. The reads from OpTic will get them a Bounty Hunter kill. They have no vision in this entire area. They just assumed, hey, he was just bottom lane. Maybe they saw him, like, go up from here, so maybe they thought he was in that area. That's scan to dust, though. That'll get the job done. Yawar, in the meantime, picks up that level 6. Pycat, though, at this point, level 7 with S and Y en route. And they just go to work with that battle trance. Huge for the troll, obviously, but pretty darn amazing on the tiny. In this tower, Luna will show herself off and pull off the creep aggro a little bit. Still, it's really, really easy damage being done. The Storm side, they're going to set up over in mid lane. MSS going to teleport in. CCNC hit with the Gush. That's going to get rid of that raindrop charge. Ravage now out. Have to focus down this Viper. He's going to get a poison attack out to Sneaking. That Viper Strike's going to do a lot of damage, but they've caught 33. Quelling Blade was already used. I don't know why, but it was on cooldown. I'm not really sure if it really would have helped him anyway there. But a Ravage used over in mid with the Exorcism does kill off 2 heroes, including that tier 1. Tomato with the rest of his ghosts, with these Treants as well, will just go to work on this tower. Again, PPD, like, this Chen can push, and he is doing so, but he does not clean creep waves nearly as fast as the Storm side. So his push will be a little bit more slow, a little bit more methodical. They will randomly find another Bounty Hunter, though, and they'll take that one to the bank. But SVG is not really worth all that much gold. Really, the only downside of having no Bounty Hunter on the map is that he's not gaining experience. This is also providing a lot of space to Yawar on this top lane. At this point, maxed out in the beams, so Eclipse is a pretty significant damage threat. There is no Ravage, but I'm not really sure if OpTic can abuse that. If they had a Blink Dagger on Tiny, then perhaps, but he's not even going for that as first item. Going to upgrade his boots first. So Warlord can get like almost a Yasha. And the scan will go green, so they know that he left. Probably just going to be a free tower anyway. PPD does end up killing off this tower, by the way. But the tower trades are there. It's like towers are being traded all over the frickin' place. Wrath of Nature bouncing through. Trying to thin out this creep wave a little bit, but Chen's got his goon squad. Tiny's here with the tree, just whacking it down. Courier snipe, SVG. Oh, I don't know. It's gonna be close. I think he's got it. Yeah, he's got it. So another courier snipe for SVG. Up towards the top in the meantime, 33. Teleporting behind that little magic tree. We'll be fine. There is going to be a silence onto the Tusk, so he can't throw anything out just yet. Will throw out onto the Luna, but it looks like that didn't do any damage at all, actually. Shards are weird. Shards are really weird sometimes. They will fall back safely. Still with no Ravage, but in another 20 seconds, they will have that and another Exorcism. Put those two together, and VGJ.Storm's Death Ball is looking fierce. It is up to OpTic to kind of look for some of these initiations beforehand. Really where this 33 Blink Dagger comes into play, but doesn't quite have it yet. And he had the Blink Dagger at this stage last game as the Sand King. Surprising to see him not have it this game as the Tiny. Of course, the Soul Ring is going to slow him down a lot. I think last game he went just straight Blink Dagger. That extra cost in front of the Blink is obviously going to slow down those timings. But the initiation from OpTic is a little bit lackluster until they get that. Once they do have that, though, being able to start the fights is easy as pie. Speaking of CCNC, he does not have a Quelling Blade or anything like that. He does have some backup from the Chen. Send back is going to force the Ravage. Oh, he's going to use the Ravage, and it's not going to be enough. Maxed out Corrosive Skin? No, not even maxed out. It's only level 3. So Ravage is now down. Sneaking, just trying to get an additional nuke, but Ravage doesn't do that much damage. Really all about the stun duration. Really aggressive play there. I guess they get the Hand of God out. Ravage is definitely more important to have than Hand of God. Easily more important. By the way, look at this net worth chart. This is a support Nature's Prophet. In any capacity, Nature's Prophet kind of tends to get gold, as I had the wrong overlay up the entire time. My apologies. This is GESC, guys. NA qualifiers. Could be VGJ.Storm camping out in the grand finals if they win this game. Although this game is still far from over, especially since the Tiny picks up that Blink Dagger, an absolute necessity. Although we do see already the Storm side are prepared with an observer in the enemy base. They do see Pycat. Without Ravage, it's kind of pointless to stay up on that top lane. I mean, they might be able to take a tower down, but it's really kind of a bluff. We'll just fall back. SVG finally does have that track. Got it a little bit earlier than Zion last game. Probably just going to go for a very standard bounty hunter type of build. Get the urn, unless someone else has an urn. I don't think anyone does. You get the urn, the vessel, and do that kind of aura healy thing. They're going to look at Pycat, 3,200 gold. And he is going to see the TPs come in. The scan goes red, and SVG, he's going to get not dusted. That was actually not in range. They do chase out Pycat, waste a dust charge. He really needs to spend some of that gold. What did he get? He's still going for SNY? Yeah, still going for SNY. But Luna at this stage has Mask of Madness. Probably able to contribute just a bit more than that singular Yasha of the Troll Warlord. Dire Obs up in the sky, and SVG pushing forward is going to trip a Sentry Ward right now. Finds PPD. He's going to put a little bit of damage into him, but still there actually is a Ravage at this point. They've separated away from their Luna, and Yawar is going to go down. And SVG, trapped by the shards, he will also fall, as will the Tidehunter. Storm just take a really awkwardly positioned fight there. Maybe they just didn't expect this Obs to be there, but having heroes like down the lane like this is just so clumsy. Like, it's so hard to reinforce your allies, and for OpTic, they have, all these teleportation angles to fight in. Like, they can go in at absolutely any angle they desire. Whereas for Storm, they have their backs up against the wall. So kind of a careless positioning play from them. But they still have that Ravage. They didn't actually use anything there. So even though that is far from what they want to be doing, and is going to feed that Troll Warlord his full SNY, it looks like. That's a full SNY. It is still going to be Storm with the ability to make moves around the map. OpTic. You show off that Blink Dagger on the Tiny. Looking at the Tide now. 1300 HP worth of Leviathan, though, is a lot to grind through. They will toss him up instead of back. They do break him, land the Viper Strike, and it looks like that's going to be enough. Especially with Zai coming in with a little bit of extra nuke damage. This Tide Hunter having gone for this Helm of the Dominator. He's tanky because of the Kraken Shell, but once that's broken off, he is just 1300 HP worth of hero. 6 armor is not super high at this stage. Tide going for a Force Staff, going for a Hood will definitely help that cause later on, but not going to do him any favors right now. A very offensive Tide Hunter build, having gone for this Helm of the Dominator. You can get away with this build as like a Beastmaster, just inherently a little more of an offensive hero. You don't need your Beastmaster to be super tanky, although he usually just ends up being both. Dude, SVG is just camped out waiting for couriers. He's going to leave the... No couriers here. There is, however, a Pie Cat on top. Oh my god, look at these catapults. Dude, these turncoats. So many of them. PPD is starting a collection. SVG, under an OBS, there is dust on Zai. Really wants to track him, but also kind of doesn't want to track him. We're still going to have a little bit of a farm game, although VGJ.Storm do have all their cooldowns right now. PPD with these catapults, really dangerous for the towers, not as much so in these fights. These catapults don't have any abilities or anything like that, so could be better. Zai is going to get walled off, though he is going to snowball out. Send back was not used, so yeah, Zai is going to get beamed and yeah, should be going down here. Shard's trying to get him some escape. Not going to happen. That's going to be the first track kill, I believe. MSS going to cash in on that. Bot lane, mid lane, though, they are pushing. The rat game is going to be really strong with this one. And sneaking, Viper Strike is there. He's going to Ravage onto 2, just on the edge. Shuriken going to bounce through. Both of them are now silenced. As the Viper, he's going to take a hit with the beam, sprouted up, and dropped. A little bit of extra cash there from that track. Not exactly the perfect usage of the Ravage. Would definitely like to get both, but you know what? They're going to be happy because they have an objective they can take. They do have to worry about this bottom lane. You don't want to leave a Tiny down there forever, so someone's got to deal with that. Creep Wave is going to spawn and hold the dire Creep Wave there at this stage. Exorcism with the threat of Eclipse, though. This is really bold from OpTic, buying back with the Viper. It's too late. So now the buyback is wasted from OpTic. They charge forward, like, best case scenario, they get SVG. And they actually caught him with the shards, so yeah, it looks like they will get SVG. Not bad at all, but it's not worth the buyback. They're going to smoke up still with the rest of the heroes. Look to catch a couple on the retreat. CCNC, 33, they have Tomato as a potential target. Fuel Scepter's on the Death Prophet, though, sneaking, lagging behind a little bit, now broken, so Kraken Shell is disabled. And he will be taken down, so that buyback maybe is worth it in the end. Taking down 2 heroes, including that Tide Hunter.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Makes it a little bit less bad.
Radiant structures are fortified.
But still, making that move. Still not going to be applying any sort of pressure towards Uar. He's got the Lance into the Pike soon enough. Even MSS, again, this Nature's Prophet. We'll call him the core now. Should be going for that Orchid. Not really a super premium item in this game, but of course just gives you more tools to work with. At a certain point, might also make him a pretty decent assassin. Like, Tusk doesn't really have much to do if he does get hit with that Orchid and the Sprout. Chen, kind of similarly, especially if he's still running around with all these catapults. It's like, catapults save me from this Orchid effect. SVG has picked up, surprisingly, no items at all. 33. I don't know if he saw that puff of smoke from the Bounty Hunter. There is no true sight in the area, though. Pings are out from 33. I think they definitely did see him. A little bit awkward. But either way, Storm are looking to rally around this Aegis. Still, they have this threat of level 2 Eclipse. Big damage. Even though there is Chen to absorb some of those shots. TP out from the Bounty Hunter. He's not needed should an engagement arise. As long as they have the Ravage, they'll be safe. And Ravage is currently in the back. Only level 1. Shards are out. Will not connect. And Zai pushing forward, but easy, simple tower push from the Storm side. Highcat is in the bottom lane, actually, just farming it up. It was looking like MSS and SVG were looking for someone in the top lane. SVG, again, is just wandering over all this vision from the Dire. OpTic's vision has been very consistently great. It's costing PPD a lot, obviously. Like, it's not free to keep all this vision up. But they are finding SVG pretty frequently. Dust is out. This time does land. SVG, he's dusted, but I don't think he was in vision. He's going to reveal himself, though. The snowball's coming in. And that will kill off this Bounty Hunter. Definitely, it looked like he was not in regular vision. They will find PPD elsewhere, though. Orchid, Wrath of Nature, bam, sneaking, steals the kill. Secures the kill, I mean. PPD is going to make that pretty much an even trade. No tools necessary. And these scaling heroes of VGJ.Storm are pretty disgusting. I mean, Tusk and Chen are not terrible scalers either. But keep in mind, this was a support nature's prophet. This is a Bounty Hunter who, admittedly, is having a little bit of a poor time considering what we have seen Bounty Hunters do in the past. He still can contribute that track and really accelerate his allies. Oh no, the Catapult Squad! One Catapult's gonna go down. How will PPD recover? I don't know. Might as well just quit now, man. You lost your Catapult. Wait, did the other Catapult get dominated? It did. Oh no, he has no more Catapults! How do you play this game without Catapults? It makes no sense. I'll tell you how. You replace them with Trebuchets. Because Trebuchets are vastly superior, as everyone knows. Mask of Madness out from the Luna. She does still have that double life, but not for long. PPD, put some vision up on the high ground as you are. Gonna take quite a bit of damage, down to half HP. Oh, the Catapult is secured once again. 33 is gonna jump right in with the Avalanche onto 3. Although the disc is up on the Death Prophet, she'll survive through all of it. As now they're just waiting for a good angle onto that Ravage, but they can't find it because Pycat by himself with the BKB is pushing everyone back. They have separated Tomato from the rest of his allies, though he is gonna survive for long enough so that the backup can come in. Eclipse will do a whole lot of nothing, but Sneaky still has that Ravage. If they even need it, they don't. Although they might need to, because 33 is gonna land a really nice Avalanche toss, but it doesn't kill off anyone. It destroys their health pools. It does end up killing off that Death Prophet. Now they're going to push forward, sneaking. Does still have that Ravage as an option. As Zai is now going to get caught. He's going to try to put some damage to the Luna, but she still has that double life. And now he's tracked up as well. Ravage is out. Will connect only onto the 1. Sneaking, kind of punished for his patience there. They will take down this Luna. Eventually, no, the Aegis is going to reclaim. She's going to get almost a full restore. She will get fully restored. Buybacks are out now as the Yuar Luna is in a little bit of trouble. She does get the Hurricane Pike over the shards and is going to throw some beams. And look at this, the wall of shards and trees. You can't go through it. Luna will go down because the Tiny's the only one who can go through it. Now he's up against one too many heroes. The Cleave doing quite a bit of damage onto SVG. MSS from the background doing some damage. Pycat's going to rush forward. He does have 600 HP still as Sneaking going to jump in. Uses the anchor, kills off the Tiny with the Gush on a Pycat. Another BKB is available. He'll try to go for Sneaking and he'll find it. Now racing for MSS, but MSS survives and gets an ultra kill, making a full wipe for Storm. Viper's arriving. It's time to go, MSS. This dance, though, is so appropriate for what just happened. This fight recap is chaos. He was forced to buy back. That was something, I don't know. Everyone died. Everyone bought back. But the end result is that VGJ.Storm, they do get away with that win. That threat of Ravage so persistent, and we can see OpTic were able to deal with that pretty darn well. Having just Troll Warlord, who's magic immune at the time, charge that Tide Hunter means that Tide has to back off, or else he dies. Or Ravage, and try to hit people behind the Troll. And there was no one behind the Troll. So OpTic being able to separate that fight, but just not with enough punching power to kill off this Death Prophet. Yule's Disc is such a defensive build from this Death Prophet, and yeah, it just showed. She was able to siphon up like 2 or 3 heroes and just stay alive forever. That was even with 33 getting just the most monstrous of Avalanche Toss combos. He stacked up like a 4-man Avatoss combo. Like, how stupid is that? Absolutely crazy, but it just fell short of damage. If everyone was just a little bit weaker, a couple more hits, another Toxin, if that was on the ground at the time, that would have been just everyone dead. But the VGJ.Storm's defensive power does hold strong this time. And of course, that Sprout and Shards making it so that OpTic, they kind of wall themselves out from being able to chase. He's kind of going to get punished by those Shards and trees as well, but he's got the Force Staff, so he at least has some mobility options as the Luna.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And of course, gotta assume that there were a handful of tracks in there as well. So it is going to be Storm to come away with a pretty nice lead. Luna has almost a BKB completed with another Ravage available for sneaking. What does MSS have? He's at 3rd place net worth. You know, just classic support MSS with Orchid with the Shadow Blade drums. This looks like a regular support game to me. Nothing weird here. More farm than Tomato. I mean, Nature's Prophet was first picked in this game. First pick plays support, and at this point, indistinguishable from a support from a core Nature's Prophet. Again, the scaling of Storm, because they're all getting gold thanks to these fight victories from the tracks. They are cashing in hard. That's the Force Staff for the Bounty Hunter. There are more options to get around that shard play from Zai. Another exorcism is up on the Death Prophet. Looks like Shiva's Guard the next item, but the big item is up for Yawar, that BKB. Still is not really ever going to be able to challenge that Troll Warlord in a man fight unless she has an opportunity to Eclipse. But versus everyone else, versus that Viper, versus that Tiny's Burst combo, Luna can actually just sit there and live for a very long time. Plus, she'll have a lot of cover. He has, like, Medallion and silences being thrown about. Of course, Ravage is, like, the ultimate cover, with now a full pipe completed as well, so they have the barrier. Pycat, he did a lot that fight as well, but Troll Warlord, typically just a hero that suffers if he's not able to get on top of someone and stay on top of someone. And now with 2 Force Staves, at least 3 Force Staves, actually, on the Storm side, it's really difficult for a Troll to stay on top of a target. Unless you get those bashes. Wow, we have an Ags on CC&C. Makes Viper Strike very low cooldown. Gives him a decent amount of bulk as well, but he's caught. Where's your Ags now? The shuffle forward, the Ravage is going to catch 2 in the background. CC&C is already down. Tracks now go out. Sneaking's Ravage isn't going to do all that much offensively. Just going to ensure the Viper kill is nice and safe. They will backdoor that tier 2 tower. The creep wave is nowhere nearby. They will have to call it quits for right now. Ravage as a tool being used at this stage for Storm. It's like not ideal, obviously, but it's not that big of a deal. They don't absolutely need a Ravage to win the fight. They are powerful enough to win it just through brute force. Although still with a pretty gigantic cooldown timer, they will just fall back and you know, maybe farm up an additional item on this Luna. Just Eagle Song. I mean, who could say no to a giant chunk of agility? I'm a fan of agility on Luna. I heard it's pretty good. For OpTic, this is the period of time where PPD as the Chen kind of feeling that impact now of having all those observers and the sentries picked up earlier. Did kill off the Bounty Hunter a couple times, but Bounty Hunter, though he was slowed down, is able to recover thanks to the track. The way you recover as Chen is by pushing and fighting. But it's very difficult to push and fight as a Chen when there are Ravages to worry about for your creeps and Lunar Glaives on the Luna. Moon Glaives. Moon Glaives, Lunar Glaives, it's all the same thing. So your creeps just naturally don't survive for very long. So there's not many options here for the Chen. And of course the Viper, having gone for this build, is a very slow, methodical build on that Viper. Oh, jump forward. Here comes the power of the moon. Chen Creep's going to absorb a little bit of it, but Viper getting torn to shreds. The power of the moon in full effect. They will snowball CC&C, but he's still going to go down. Zai's taking a lot of damage as well as Podcat pops the BKB, trying to go after sneaking. Will take the kill there. Everyone else trying to disengage away from him. From the back, though, it is going to be MSS. He's got eyes on everyone. He's looking for Zai first with the Orchid. They'll take him down. That's Sprout and a 2-man Sprout. Okay. Won't really do all that much because no one else is here for Storm. They're also chasing 33 as Tomato has used that ultimate, but conveniently for him, they also got Pycat one more time with the Sprout, but Tracks sticking on him. The Roshan is available, and he is not something that VGJ.Storm actually know about because he just respawned in the middle of that fight. But that's Tide Hunter down, a Tide who had no Ravage. A little bit of ghost duration for Tomato, who was definitely playing up against that Tiny the entire time, but now they've caught PPD with a Siphon. These Glaives even with a couple misses, just destroying him. There is no more BKB on the Troll Warlord. He's going to try to chop his way through, but the surround from the Treants, MSS delivering again. From the back, it's 33, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. He's going to get beamed out of his TP, and he's going to go down as well. The TP is out looking for the 5th. That poor Chen, all he wants to do is get a creep, and they can't even give him that. He's tracked up, he's dead. Double kill for the Nature's Prophet. Screw Roche, man. You don't want a Roche anymore. You just want to win the game. CCNC is going to... Did he Viper Strike a creep? I think that was Nether Toxin, actually. But he's going to get lifted up, and he's completely swarmed with heroes. He's dead again for like the 3rd time in as many minutes, and now the push is going to happen in earnest. As Yawar is still perfectly healthy, the Glaives now unleashed to bounce through absolutely everywhere. Look at it go. Witch Doctor, eat your heart out. Zai's alive, but he has no chance of going in right now. Push is happening on 2 fronts. MSS, he's such a powerhouse hero. Push is happening on 3 fronts, actually. They're going to look to take the Megas off of this. And you know what? With the Ravage's backup, I think they might just have it in the bag. Zai's chasing after MSS right now, and he's doing his best with MSS, but the Sprout puts himself into a corner where Zai can't do anything. Has the Walrus Punch, but he just can't reach. MSS gets the kill. Oh, the GG is called after that one. Feels bad, man, if you're a Tusk. And VGJ.Storm, wow. That team fight management is just so impeccable from them. It was that one fight on the bottom lane. It was that singular fight on the bottom lane where VGJ.Storm are, kiting that BKB on Pycat, even though he even had the Eye of Scotty by game end. It almost seems like he just didn't have that. He wasn't able to stick onto his targets. The fighting power of VGJ.Storm was crashing in a little bit too hard because they just had so many varied threats. Like, you got to take out the Tidehunter. No matter what the farm is on the Tidehunter, you have to address that because of the Ravage. Like, you have to play around it in some way, shape, or form. You got to worry about the Nature's Prophet because he's loaded with items. Tomato's Death Prophet, a hero that's super tanky but can't afford to just build pure tank if it means he's if it still means that he's going to be out with the Exorcism. And guys, VGJ.Storm actually... okay, we actually have a little bit of a discussion here. Yeah, we're actually going to talk to someone from VGJ.Storm. Let me just quickly put up a ghetto text thing, because I am kind of ill-prepared to do this, so my apologies. But yeah, we are going to be talking to someone from Storm. It's what they, let's just, oh god, this image is black. This is gonna look terrible. Can we get a white version of this image, please? Okay, this is good. This is perfect. Windows 10. Oh yeah. This is some serious NA production value right now, guys. Like, you have no idea. All right. I think we're almost ready. No one prepared me for this. I actually was notified about this, so that's my fault. Look at that. We got the image, we got the handle, and it looks awful, but that's the best I can do. Alright, we're gonna start this call. Guys, we're gonna take a little bit of a discussion with, what did he say? He said sneaking. Hopefully he's here. Is it working?
Yes, hello?
Hey, what's up, dude? Congratulations on the win.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah, keep talking for a little bit more. We gotta make sure you sound okay. Could you just say, like, anything for me right now?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, you might be a little bit loud, but, guys, if he's a little bit loud, that's fine. You'll deal with it. So now, dude, congratulations on the win. Congratulations to your entire crew. Talked to SVG yesterday. He said that you're the main shot caller as the game progresses. Is that correct?
Oh, that is indeed correct.
So you're in this late game scenario. Who's the biggest threat? What are you most worried about? Say at the end of this game, like what are you most concerned about?
The only thing we have to be concerned about is this troll warlord, and the only time we have to be scared of him is during his BKB duration. So when he pops his BKB, we just yell track and then kite his BKB, and then that's all we have to do to win this game. And I'm deliberately saving the Ravage for after his BKB runs out, and he can't fight us because he knows I have Ravage. Like every fight, he had to tunnel vision me and focus me, which ensures my Furion and Luna and Death Prophet, my Tricore, my real Tricore. I'm actually really supporting this game. Go unharmed, and that's honestly all I have to do. I just have to make sure they don't die, and my involvement in this team fight is just to keep them alive. And if I die, it doesn't matter.
So even when you're not playing Omni Knight, still playing Omni Knight. So your Tidehunter build, Helm of the Dominator, is that just like the best item, like value wise, to get on seemingly everyone? Because it like used to be Mech, used to be Blink Dagger.
Yeah, Helm of Dominator is a really cost efficient item to enable you to do these early pushes that you wouldn't otherwise be able to. And it's I mean everyone does it, right? Like it's not something that's just brand new, popped up today. But yeah, and it's this one item enables your whole team to be able to push in situations a lot of times you wouldn't be able to push. If you look at our lineup, we got some push, but we would never be able to have the enough sustain and like things to tank the tower if it wasn't out for the helm. So we always try to get at least a helm on our team.
Just that bare necessity item. OpTic, you know, they definitely had a couple of issues in this game. I'm looking at the end game scoreboard screen right now, and it seems like Tiny was maybe a little bit slow coming out the gates. Viper went for the Ags. It seemed like they were just 100% trying to pile on the Troll Warlord. Would you have like also gone for that type of strat? Because it seemed like, as you said, like the Troll was the only real threat where he shouldn't really be.
I think it depends on a lot of teams' playstyle. A lot of teams go all in on one heroes, and it works for them. So I think you would have to ask depending on team. But if it were in my opinion, I would not prefer going all in on Troll, because in my opinion, single cores never win Dota these days because you're just all inning on them. And if one thing goes wrong, your single core messes up, or someone messes up the fight and your single core dies or something, and then the game is really hard for you.
Okay, well speaking of hard, someone, Complexity or OpTic, are going to be your final opponents, because you guys are chilling. For anyone who doesn't know, best of 5 is the finals, and VGJ.Storm are going to be waiting there. Complexity or OpTic? Obviously, you just beat OpTic. Haven't played up against Complexity yet. Is there anyone you're actually kind of hoping comes out of that first match, or are you kind of indifferent there?
I think I want to play against Cole in the grand finals, just because we have had, or for myself personally, on the previous roster of VGJ.Storm, there was a lot of bad series and engagements in our history, and we ended up losing practically every series against them. So I think even though the roster is a little different for them, it's a little different for myself, but I would like to take revenge. You know, there's always a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of revenge.
So you're looking at Complexity as the real, like, the hurdle to come over? If you clear them, man, you just beat OpTic. You would have beaten, I think, everyone actually in this qualifier.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yes. We played DC first round, and then we played OpTic just now, and then if we play Complexity in the grand final, we would have played everyone. That is correct, and that is one team we haven't played yet. So another bonus reason to why I kind of want to play them.
All right, well, congratulations to everyone. VGJ.Storm on your win. I hopefully have the right Twitter handle, _sneaking, right? That's
yeah.
You?
Yes, that is me. The reason why there's an underscore, someone stole my name. It's unfortunate. One day, hopefully, I'll regain back my main name. I don't think that'll ever be the case, though.
If you get verified, maybe on Twitter, you could like strong arm someone into like making them ban the regular @sneaking account, and you could take it.
Maybe one day, hopefully one day.
Maybe after winning a certain qualifier. I don't know. If only there was a qualifier where you're sitting and waiting in the grand finals and looking pretty darn strong at that. Okay, dude, I'm going to let you go. Do you have any final words for anyone else who's watching.
I want to give a big shout out to my sponsors, my manager Jack, also known as KBBQ, our production manager Mikey, our marketing manager Chandler, and most importantly my girlfriend. Thank you for having me here. It's been a pleasure.
All right, guys, that has been Sneaking, the Tide Hunter player, as you can see, for VGJ.Storm, the quote-unquote off-lane, although, as he said, in this game at least, definitely the support. It's going to be VGJ.Storm playing tomorrow in the grand finals of GESC for the NA qualifiers, and their current opponent either going to be the Complexity team or a rematch up against OpTic in a full best of 5. Again, that's all going to be happening tomorrow. Guys, this has been the worst overlay setup I've ever had in my entire life. That's okay, because we are done for the day. GESC NA will conclude tomorrow. And guys, if you enjoyed the games, be sure to tune in tomorrow. Make sure to finish up these qualifiers. You don't want to just miss it, right? That sucks. But if you enjoyed the casting, you can follow me along at Mike Loris. Of course, hit Sneaking up at _Sneaking. And I think it's just at team_VGJ for all of... Is that all of VGJ or is that just VGJ.Storm? It looks like that's, just at VGJ, at team_VGJ for them. Again, thank you so much for Sneaking for joining me. There is a lot of Dota still being played in a whole bunch of tournaments, guys. So go watch something else. I'll see you guys next time. GG.